Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man, at your service. How are you all? The weather outside is still blistering. It's wonderful, it's wonderful. This lockdown has been the end, or rather endless. Endless, it's just going on and on and on. One day blaring into the next. It's just an endless sort of Groundhog Day. Now, I was sitting outside in the front of Kilt Mansions this morning with whiskey and coffee, a good combination, and in the blazing sunshine. It was fantastic, and people were going past, the odd person was going past that they shouldn't have been. They should have been in like self-isolation, and people know me, and they were going, "Hiya, Kilt-Man, hiya, you alright? I won't come too close." We were having conversations, over the gate, and all this. And people were saying, "Oh, this is just, it's doing me head in. I can't stand it. I don't know what to do with myself. I look forward to a walk, or taking the dog out, or even going shopping, But then I go back home and I just put the telly on, and I end up watching, the coronavirus updates, and all the baggage and the shite that goes along with all that. Let me just turn Jim down a little bit." And they were going like, how is it for you? And I said, well, it's great. I'm not having any problems at all with it. It's one of those things. We've got to get through it, and I'm enjoying it. How are you enjoying it? How are you enjoying it? And it got me thinking, well, what are you people doing? How are you getting through these supposedly endless, days of nothing, seeing nobody, not doing anything? Social media, takes over and all that. You're FaceTiming people and you're Zooming people, whatever the hell that is. I don't know what that is. I heard it. Zoom. Even Mrs. Kilt-Man was doing a Zoom thing the other night. I must ask questions about that. But so it got me thinking, how do people cope with this sort of scenario? It is strange. We're not used to it. We're social animals, and we don't like being told what to do. When we feel like our civil liberties are being stripped away from us, there's a resentment there. And this is now week 4 of the lockdown in the UK, and certainly the first 2 weeks there was a huge amount of resentment. I myself experienced that. You may have seen some videos where I've been venting my spleen. I very quickly got a handle on things though, and kind of got used to it. And these are my tips then. Tips for surviving lockdown. Because in the UK, lockdown is not going away. We've got another 2, maybe 3 weeks of this. Possibly even more. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? But the secret of surviving this is routine. It's plain and simple. Routine. To have a structure to your day. To have plans, have ideas. Whether it's DIY, painting a room, putting a carpet down, putting some flooring down, he says, casting his eyes to next door. No, Steve, well done, sir. At least you're doing something constructive with your time. All I'm doing is this. No, doing a lot more than that. But have something. Don't be lying in all day. And I know people are doing that. Well, what's the point of getting up? I get up and watch a bit of telly, and then I go back to bed again. I've heard that from people. What? What do you? No. Look. Get up in the morning. Get washed. Brush your teeth. Get dressed. Do your hair. Do whatever you would normally do. Routine sounds boring as hell. It does. Of course it does. You think when you the rat race and you've got to get up, do all that, have your breakfast, rush out, get the train, get the bus, or drive to work. All that whole thing. Yeah, that is a fucking nightmare. I cannot argue with that. But the thing is, and this is the vicious circle that you get into, you as a person need some sort of order to your daily life, your grind. When that's taken away from you, the devil makes work for idle hands. You don't know what to do with yourself. So, this is a tried and trusted method. If you're, say, you're a prisoner of war, or say you're actually in, solitary confinement somewhere, Doesn't matter where you are, behind enemy territory or locked up in a cell, it doesn't matter. Or you're in your house during lockdown. All it is, you get up in the morning and you do your normal ablutions. Take your time doing it, take a pride in doing it, and then your day, you map out the rest of your day. You do something, exercise, watch a film. I know, that's difficult in solitary confinement, I know, especially if you're a POW. You're some bamboo cage in Vietnam. But you still find a structure to your day. Okay, for this hour or so, I'm going to meditate. For the next hour, I'm going to just remember things. Now I'm going to talk to myself, or whatever. That's people who are locked in a bamboo cage. I'm talking to you right now. But in this particular situation, you get up, sort yourself out, you enjoy your breakfast because you've got more time to make something more elaborate. And it's the best meal of the day, so they say. I have loads of meals throughout the day, as you can probably tell, and I love them. But enjoy your breakfast, and then sit, gather your thoughts. If you've got family, converse together. What are you going to do today? Well, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to play Resident Evil fucking 3. I'm going to be on Snapchat. I'm going to do whatever. Okay, fine, right. But do that for a limited amount of time. Order yourself through this. Then do some fitness. Then you go for your walk. Then you go for your walk. Then you go for your walk. You take the dog out. Don't have someone instructing you. You think to yourself what you're going to do, how you're going to map out the rest of this, seemingly interminable 24 hours that you've got to get through, and then again the next day. But fitness is a huge, huge thing. Now, depending on what mood I'm in, I can do an exceptionally fast and brutal 20 to 25 minute workout, or I can do a proper weight routine lasting an hour, maybe even more. I could combine aerobics with, a weight training regime. I chop and change my programs all the time. The secret of any kind of fitness is to shock your body. Don't get used to the same old routine, the same old system, the same old set of exercises and stuff that you do, because your body gets used to it and your body will not respond. It'll be too easy and it'll become like just a bore. You've got to always push yourself. And the way of doing that with exercise is by changing your routine often and doing it drastically, So set aside some time for that. But another thing is shake up your routine as well. Once you get up and you've done all that stuff, don't go out for your walk at the same time. Go out for your walk later. Read a book for a bit. Do something else. Watch that fucking big box in the corner with all them people. Isn't it funny how, everyone's in sort of isolation. So you've got the odd couple of TV presenters who are sitting there and they're sort of socially distanced as well. It's fucking ridiculous, isn't it? But, and then they bring in like guests who aren't actually there in the studio on the set. And they'll come in and they'll cut to them on their video conferencing or whatever, or on the phone, whatever they're doing. But the quality is shit, isn't it? This is television, for fuck's sake. A lot of these people are TV presenters or newscasters who are reporting from home, and yet they're using complete bollocks equipment. It's just in this day and age, shouldn't that feed be fucking jazzed up? Shouldn't the TV studio be able to cut out all the wavy lines and the fucking distortion and all that shit, and get the lip sync right as well? I mean, who the fuck is doing it? Is this some kind of spaghetti western TV that we've got thrust upon us now? Because all the lip syncs out, I've noticed, fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so this is meant to be a bit of a Kilt-Man's sage advice. Sit there, topless, in a kilt, with ridiculous bandanas draped across your shoulders, with a little green Buddha, a jade Buddha, to bring you luck. I find this brings you more luck. Captain Willard's gone ballistic now. Took out Colonel Kurtz. I actually said to Mrs. Kilt-Man earlier, coming up on a slight tangent, that to this, The Doors, The End, the classic full 11-minute version, the explicit version, I wouldn't mind doing a big video to it. I know I'm doing one now, but it's not quite the same thing. And you know our Captain Willard, Martin Sheen, in the opening sequence where you see him in his hotel room in Saigon, and he's pissed up and everything like that, and he's trying to do some martial arts, but he's off his fucking trolley. He's totally coked up to his tits and back, and he punches the mirror, cuts himself, shatters the mirror. And I said to her, I wouldn't mind doing that. She went, what? Wouldn't mind doing what? I said, I might just mock up like a video. I'll have all camouflage, and I'll have a tracking shot, and we'll have the doors playing loud and all that, and I'll have camouflage face paint on and all that kind of shit, like, and I'll have my tiger stripe combats on. She was not a kilt. I said, no, not for this. I'll have tiger stripe combat trousers on, and I'll do this elaborate sort of, excessive, ridiculous, inane video. Bit of martial arts, bit of movements, some patterns, some katas, and then, but at some point I will put my fist through a mirror. And she said, where are you going to get that mirror from? I said, I don't know, I'll ask around. Someone's got to have a mirror. She goes, who's going to give you a big mirror to smash? She goes, where are you going to do this exactly? I said, I'll be outside, so I can, clean it all up, brush it all up, no worries. She said, what about your hand? What about your knuckles? What about your fingers that you're going to be severing in this shards of broken glass? I said, you're talking to an expert in martial arts. An expert with guns, with knives, You don't think I know what I'm doing? And she went, I know you don't know what you're doing. And you're going to involve whiskey in this as well. I said, of course. Just want to help me get into character. And she hasn't taught me out of it, So I'm going to work on that one. I've got all these ideas. See, again, this is the thing about all the time you've got off. You can plan, not just for the day ahead, or the next day, or the next day after that, but because you've got all this time to reflect upon your life and where you are, in your career. But you've got time, no matter what age you are, you've now got the time to think ahead. We're not going to be in this state forever. We're going to come out of this. And in the UK, we got warned yesterday. It's just funny how you're coming to the end of it now. The end again. You see, you're coming to the end of it, even though we haven't reached this fucking, the crest of the fucking COVID curve or whatever they're calling it now. We're still getting deaths, but it's tailing. It's not as bad. It's still fucking tragic, but we're not losing as many people. And of course, they want to gauge, the social distancing, self-isolation and all that kind of stuff. The restrictions have worked. So they're not talking about that so much now. They're talking about the economic disaster which is about to befall the UK. Not just the UK, America, fucking everywhere is going to suffer it. That they're going to go into a huge recession. Our economy is going to shrink by 1/3 at least. We're going to top probably 3 million unemployed. So now that they're talking about that and the recovery structure and plan, strategy they need to get the economy bouncing back, which will take about a year to do that. That's optimistic. But so the fact that they're talking about that now does seem to insinuate that COVID's bad, but we're now going to face an even worse climate afterwards. But we've got to try and work out to deal with that. So that's definitely the next problem. But it does tell you that we're going to come out of this into another shitstorm, an economic shitstorm. Well, fucking big deal. I've had a pay rise for fucking decades. Me and the people I work with have been shit on all over so many times. So, I'm forever in debt. Do I give a fuck? Do I fuck? It is what it is. I hate that phrase, and I use it all the time. But it is what it is. It's a shitstorm, not of our creation. And yet we're still going to end up being punished. You kept us somewhere. How many people are now unemployed? How many businesses have gone under because they were told that's it, you've got to shut up shop, go home and stay indoors, and their business has fucking collapsed. Everyone they employed is now unemployed, and their businesses have gone down the fucking toilet. Not their fault. Not their fault. The government says, we're going to help you at some point. We're going to try to help you. How have they done that? And most people who were sort of self-employed have not received any payments from the government as yet. So, all this is enforced upon us. The government did say, the banks will have to help you because, they caused all that shit last time round and we bailed them out. Well, now it's their turn. That seems to have been forgotten about. The government is not, according to the headlines I've seen today, and the news reports I've seen today, that, the government's not leaning on the banks anymore. They're saying that we are going to suffer, we are going to pay the price, but we've got to pull together because we're all in that phrase, we're all in this together. There is indeed danger at the edge of town. And the killer will wake before dawn. But I don't know, folks. So as I say, you need to think ahead once this is closed down, we've come out of all this restrictions, and what are you going to do with your life? Are you going to go back to that job? You may not have a choice, but you can think, you can plan. You're going to write that book, you're going to make that movie, you're going to change career, you're going to travel the world. Well, don't do that just yet, but this time, this enforced time of reflection. A lot of people I've spoken to outside today, which put this idea in my head, are suffering, and they didn't seem to get, this time's been given to you, make the most of it, it's yours. You don't have to sit there and just on your lip, got nothing to do, bored, no pubs, no cinema, no bingo, whatever, you know me, you all know me in the pub. Christ, if anyone's going to miss the pub, it's going to be this guy here. And yet, you know what? I've got used to not going to the pub. I've got used to just, obviously when they reopen, I'll be there like a fucking shot. But I'm not moping. I'm not like, oh no, what am I going to do? Oh, I've only got that much whiskey left.
Get here and we'll do the rest.
Shit, I've only got that much whiskey left. But use this time, be constructive. Don't look at it as a bleak, doom and gloom, fucking, a nightmare scenario. Take stock, think ahead, plan, change what's in you, change what your ideas are. You might not want to change. You might think, well, I'm enjoying this break. I've done the garden, done a bit of decorating, and by the time it's all over, you'll be ready to go back to, the usual rat race. Great. It's all about you and how you deal with stuff. There's no one who can actually genuinely say, this is what you should be doing. This is what you should be thinking about. And there's me sitting there going, listen, have a routine. Get up in the morning, brush your teeth, get washed, do your hair, choose your clothes for the day. Do a workout. You can do one for 20 minutes or 25, or if you really want to blitz it, do for an hour. These are just suggestions on how to get through what appears to be a bit of a weird or upsetting time for so many people. And of course, you've got the fact that you can't see relatives, you can't see your friends, which is where social media comes in. Not everyone can do that, I know. Not everyone's got access to stuff to speak like this, and I do sympathise with that completely. But I also don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. Another thing which struck me today was the blind and the partially sighted are not listed as top priority people. For they're getting delivery slots for food packages coming in, and they're not getting priority. They're blind. They can't see. So when they do go out shopping, because they have their independence as well. Of course they do. They have a life that they lead. When they go out shopping and they go to supermarkets, they usually have someone to help them from the supermarket. This is so and so. This is your peas. This is your peaches. Easy. I'm sure they know what a banana feels like, but you know what I mean. They'll have someone helping them around. Now they can't have that. No one can go near them. How can a blind person gauge 2 meters with a trolley? What if the stuff's been moved around? They can't see. They need to be prioritised. Am I just fucking thinking too deeply about things? Or is this just fucking common sense. And yet, I know the government is like, oh, this was thrown upon us when we had to come up with a strategy, a plan, overnight. It's been changed and modified. I do get that as well, I understand that. But you have people in your think tanks who do prepare for all this. The same way that, you know, all the deaths that are being listed, you know, the daily chart, you know, we're competing with other countries. Well, more died in our country than yours. Fuck off, you know. People who die outside of hospitals, in homes, care homes, and in, you know, residences, the normal residents, weren't getting recorded. Fuck off. Why not? Why not? We only record the ones who died in hospital. So you're only getting like a very sort of not the accurate picture of the amount of deaths that are taking place. Really? And you can. People register deaths pretty quickly, you know. Count them. Fucking hell. So you actually had on the news yesterday people who work in care homes who were bitching about this, saying we're the forgotten ones. You're going on about the NHS and all that, you know, the heroes, but what about us? No one's testing us. No one's even counting the people who die in under our care. You know, we're the forgotten people. And you got, you know, Dominic, Raab, Tashi, what the hell is this stuff? They're always acting for Boris at the moment. I don't even know his fucking name. You got him saying, no, we haven't forgotten. You are anything but forgotten. And we are working at a way to get those statistics into our big death tally. Teletubby. It's difficult, I know. But it's their job to sort it out. So sort it. Get your figures accurate. Look after the blind and partially sighted. You know, fuck me. Have you got a heart? You know, we're 4 weeks into this. We're actually longer into this, you know, the whole fucking caboodle. Look after them. If they're not getting packages of food, how are they supposed to bloody eat? The woman on the radio this morning who I heard, she said, like, and she was local, you know, she's Merseysider, and she said, like, you know, I've been lucky. She can work from home. She's totally blind, but she can work from home. Whatever, and she works for the NHS, believe it or not. But she can, whatever she does, she can do it from home. And but she can't get food. She can't get a delivery slot, so she's not getting any food. So she can't go out shopping either. And her friends and relatives, well, her relatives were looking after her, but her relatives are all in their 70s, so they're not supposed to be coming around and looking after her. They're supposed to stay indoors and all that. So no one's coming to her assistance. Are you fucking for real? Get it sorted and look after the blind and the partially sighted. And there's other people with disabilities. You know, I'm not like discriminating against everyone else. You know, but if you got problems, apparently other ones are. You know, if you're bedridden, you're wheelchair bound, you know, you are getting priority. But the blind aren't. Huh? I don't know. It's all gone nothing wrong. So, in a rambling, hippie sort of, you know, fashion, I've talked about lockdown and the effects it's having upon us all, and a few little solutions, a few little top tips from the topless guy on how to break up your day, how to manage all this excess time you have on your hands. And just enjoy it. Get into music, read books, take up knitting, sewing, I don't know, masturbate like there's no fucking tomorrow. It's up to you, you know? That was a serious suggestion, by the way.
This is the end.
This is an absolute classic song. It puts you in a frame of mind. It takes you out of whatever your reality was. It shifts you, maybe just a little bit, but it does. It relocates you to another time, another place. Jim Morrison, mate. Good head of hair as well. Ray Manzarek. It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. Like many people, I got into the Doors because of Apocalypse Now. Now, it'd only be about 10, 10 years old. And I went round to Rock's Records in Liscard. And I'd go through all the, the vinyl. And the doors. Next thing you know, I had about 16 fucking albums. Big gatefold stuff as well. I mean, they were dead cheap, but absolutely fell in love with the Doors. And then during the 80s, when I got into I became a mod, and then I got into New Romantics, Duran Duran, Kershaw, Spandau Ballet, all that kind of shit, like spiky hair, highlights, the Doors. It's like, oh, I'd never admit to liking the Doors. I love the Doors. But it's been too long since I played this. So, folks, I'm losing track as to what we've covered here. Probably too much. A wide-ranging, sort of gangly little discussion. I have a package. The camera is sitting on a package here, which arrived today, and I'm going to open that later. I know what's in it, and it was sent by somebody. Another great subscriber, another good friend. He wanted me to have a look at this, and I love the address as well. It's put my name, Chris McAneny, in brackets, aka Kilt-Man. So, I mean, every postman knows who I am anyway, But I'll open that and I'll show you that later. So, folks, in the meantime, and the in-between time, I want you all to, if you can, savour these crazy times. They're tragic times, they're scary times, but you don't have to go with that mentality. If you can, make the most of this time. You might never get a spell of time like this again. You might never get it. So don't waste it worrying. Body, soul, mind, heart. Come on, you can boost all of that with this time off. I wonder if I can speak without using my hands. I'm going to keep my hands there now.
Weird scenes inside the gold mine.
No. You do gesticulate a lot. When you're on camera, you try it. There's a hobby for you. There's something to do while you're off. Start doing your own YouTube channel. Have fun. I mean, Christ, what talent do you need for it? You don't, do you? Look at me. I just fucking sit here and waffle on. Anyway, be happy, be healthy, keep it kilted, keep it Celtic, and rejoice in free time. And watch out for cops to sneak up on you like that. And I'm going to see you all later. Ride the snake.